mentioned God earlier. I'm just wondering, like, when you're at the Ganga or you're in some form of um, walking meditation or sitting down or the amusement, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate a little more about your perspective about what you feel God, or what is it? What is God to you?
Before that Ganga trip, I was very rigid about all the ideas of that something unknown is there, right? Because I grew up in a family who firmly believed that there is some God, but they never told me what it is. They will just tell me like go to temple, you will find God. Like go to temple, put your head and come back. They never said like go to temple to find God, you know.
Okay.
So it's also like how they teach you, you know. So the way I was taught about God was like they never told me to find it. They told me to just to believe that there is God. You have to see it. They never tell me about it. So I never made an attempt to find my God. So I'm kind of like questioning the way I've been brought up by. So, but now I have feelings about some things. I don't know.
So it's yet to be discovered, maybe, or it just takes more time to.
I think one life is never enough. And also, I think there are some universal truths which all of us know, but we don't know because we haven't experienced them, you know. So I think only way to know is to experience it again. So, and again, experiences has no limits.
When you're like walking on your journey and you described a little bit about some of the interesting characters and people you meet along the way.
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of God when you connect with somebody on the road or on the path?
I do. I don't know about like what you mean by sense of God, but I do feel a very powerful connection with some people. And like when you walk alone, when I walk alone, I have lots of questions sometimes, and I need someone to answer on my behalf. You know, I need to satisfy myself from those questions. Like I need to know what it is, where is that question coming from. And the funny or weird or the nice thing is when I have those kind of questions, I only find those kind of people, and I never feel a need to ask those questions. They end up talking about those questions only, and I meet them in middle of nowhere. Like it's very maybe I manifest everything. Maybe what I'm doing is maybe just even I'm talking to is not even real, you know. Like one day I just wake up and find it out. But if it is real, it is quite magical. Like the manifestation I'm having is it's very magical.
We talked about. Hold on, we have a truck going by. We talked briefly the other day about when I read your bio on your Facebook page about the what was it, the dual.
Two-tier world.
Yeah, could you?
I've forgotten about it, but
Huh?
I have completely forgotten about it. I think I wrote it like
where the conflict comes from in the world, like your perspective, and then the perspective what you feel the world is telling you how to look at the world.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Also, like for example, I might deviate a little bit. So I think the world right now we are living in is like, let's say my generation is living in. It's too much information about everything, so much, and I'm not saying some information is right or wrong, but what is the appropriate information? Like what is the like someone give us some information but they never tell us the context. So, and what we are lacking is the context. Like at least what I am lacking is the context. So when I don't have the context of it, like why someone did that, I will never understand it. And these days there's a news. So before we need the news, there are like 1000 tweet about it. So there are 1000 tweet about the information, and whatever is dominating, or whatever comforts us, like whatever ideologies I have, I will take that information in that way. So I will never read the exact news. I will only read the tweet or what is, because these days every news is there on Facebook. We don't really read newspaper these days. Every news we get it on what is trending on your right hand, below your notifications, and so that changed everything. Like that made us build, because what we read in first go becomes our truth, even though it turns out to be 20 days later. The image of the person or the image of the place or the event has already been shattered. So, and then we feel guilty, but we don't change. Like, we don't change our perspective about it, mostly in most of the cases. And that made us like have a lot of judgments about some place, some person, and that possibilities we could have or the things we could have learned, they never happen.
And it sounds like while you're taking this walking journey, you, I get the impression that when you're walking, your ability to shift your perspective is probably more fluid than rather than sitting in an office or doing the same thing day in, day out. Like you're coming into contact with so many different elements and people, and you can't help but kind of wonder, how your perspective can shift around.
Also, when I say like 9 to 5 jobs, there's nothing wrong about it. Like, I find nothing bad about it. Like, actually, I find it quite it's only for brave people, and I'm not brave enough, like, because I don't like that air, it's not the right air for me. I don't like that building because there's so many people inside it, and I don't like what I'm doing because, when I say 9 to 5, because most of the things don't exist in the real world, and yet they keep doing it. So it's quite brave not doing what you don't want to do,
Yeah.
So
Well put. That was nicely said.
and I'm not brave enough, so I can only do what I feel like doing. And what was the question again? So
That's just the perspective, how when you step out of your zone, or when one steps out of their zone, they can't help but realize, maybe not even realize, but the perspective can change a little bit, with each experience.
True. Also, like, for example, when I was doing initially, let's say, in beginning of my travel, I was having the same word, let's say perspective, I'm gaining new perspective. But now I think the point I have come to is let's not even have a perspective, How about we don't have anything? And, then can we see the things?
Right.
It's again how many shoes you can wear, and there's no limit to it. You keep wearing shoes and they're people of all shapes and sizes. So it's not possible to have that whole picture fully. We'll have a big data, and then whatever that big data is, whatever is more than 51%, that becomes truth. I say let's lose that truth as well. Let's lose it at all. Let's lose everything, and then walk. Then what do you see? So the day I will be able to do that, I think, it's not like I'm pushing to bit. It's just happening.
Do you feel you're searching for something on this, on your walk across India?
Again, I find this question very cliche, to be honest, and because when people ask me what is the purpose behind it, is there any search behind it, are you looking for God, or are you trying to be famous or something? The honest answer is I don't know yet. I can only tell you, the more I will walk, the more I will know. And like when you walk alone, lots of revelations happen. And then, like, the thing is, for me, I have always done things by instinct, at least in last 3-4 years. And I like to know why that instinct came. So for right now, the instinct I have is that, Sachin, you need to walk. You need to walk all the time. A very inside of me, a voice is coming that I need to walk. I need to walk. So for me, I don't know whether it's some thirst, whether it's some search, or whether it's like meaning, like I'm trying to make some meaning, or I have some questions. Maybe all of it, maybe nothing of it. But what I can feel is like every cell of me is telling me that I need to walk. So I'm walking.
Yeah. Good.
and that is what inspired me to walk. Like obviously there's always inspiration outside, which is like when I'm walking, so many people are helping me out. Like, for example, you are making a movie, I don't have to pay you anything, and
we didn't talk about that, did we?
Yeah.
I had to beg this gentleman to let me film him.
Yeah. So, but do I have to pay you?
No.
Okay. See?
Maybe a chai,
Yeah, chai.
But yeah, you're right. You, not to interrupt you, but how many people come out and really help you.
So I remember the post you read. We were leaving for Gangotri, and I posted it, like I borrowed a laptop from the friend, and I just posted it, like I just wrote, and few people I could think of in that, I just thanked them and left. And after a week I got access to internet. There were like more than 100 personal messages in that secret inbox.
Yeah.
That so many people wants to host me, so many people are asking,
wow,
please let us know if you need anything. We won't judge you if you are asking for anything. Like, so many nice messages.
Yeah.
Like, you come to Darjeeling, we will host you. Some people are even saying, like, please come to our house, we will take you to our god. Like they have some temples, they will take us there. Some people are like so many people, they're like, I have this thing if you need it. And
that just makes my whole body just tingles when I mean, that is so amazing.
And like when I'm walking, like I never felt scarcity of anything. Like, obviously there's scarcity of emotions I'm having these days. Like, I'm kind of becoming very like completely sort of unemotional. Like sometimes I see things as like not good or bad. Like sometimes when someone is like, let's say we talk about disability a lot, I have kind of stopped feeling emotional for like all kind of vulnerable people in a sort of way. So I see them as people, and I don't know whether it's good or bad. So, but the one thing I've realized, the moment I get affected by it, I'm not able to do anything about it.
Years ago, personally, in my personal life, what you just described, like the emotions are not quite there. For me, I called it, I realized I was numbing myself. Just, when you pinch yourself but you don't quite feel it, and it ebbs and flows, like it sometimes, and then I realized the emotions are actually a survival, a form of survival if we see them as a tool. Yeah. That's the thing I had in my life, is my emotions were going up and down, and I didn't know how to control them. So
for me, initially it was numbing, few years back, but now I can differentiate between what I feel right now. So right now I can feel the difference between the numbing and the state of being I am in. It's not like I have closed my inner being for them. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's more of, I don't see it as a good thing or bad thing. I see the way it is.
Yeah.
I try to understand the actual narrative behind it, the actual narrative of it. And that makes me know more about the person, the kind of state the person is in. Like, and when I actually can put into the shoes, I will have a slightest idea of what to do about it. So it's actually not numbing. It's something more. It's something more pure. Like it's not like I'm stopping away. I'm stopping myself. So it's totally different from. Do I make some sense?
Yeah. And then from Rishikesh, you're headed to where?
So I'm headed to Delhi, and then I'm gonna go via Central India to Maharashtra, and then Goa, Karnataka, Kerala. So all the Indian states you can think of, I'm gonna go there.
What's been the most impressive place that you've come across in India as far as location? You talked about walking along the Ganges for many kilometers.
Yeah.
I mean that must be an experience
Yeah.
incredible.
So I can't mention like one place, but there have been some places which, like when we have these aha moments, remember it? Like I never had those aha moments, like, but for like sometimes I had outbursts. Like there's so many things, so many churning happening, and then one day it's like I'm putting my face like this. And the Yuri was telling me like how it works. So one day it's so full of everything it explode.
Yeah.
So those places obviously are very special for me. But I think these places are very different from like everyday places. For example, when I went to Gomukh, it was quite something. Like when you see source of something really the most powerful thing you have seen, and you see how tiny it is in the beginning, and then you see yourself like you are that tiny, and maybe you are that extreme, amazing, beautiful thing. So then I like to think of the possibilities of where I can go if I keep moving, because if I stop growing, I stop evolving. So the whole idea of movement is, I think, that as well, that because you always expand, like you are not narrowed. Maybe you are narrowed down right now, but because you keep
Right.
moving,
Yeah.
that you will like break everything.
You just said something that if you don't keep moving, you stop growing or expanding. And earlier you said your instinct is telling you just to keep walking.
Yeah.
Are those tied together? If you stop walking, that you do you thirst for? I think you used that word before the other day. Thirst for the expansion. To me, in my mind, anyway, I seem to connect the two.
Maybe I think expansion is nothing but like losing yourself fully. When there's a dot, like everything, like all the lights come to one point, and then it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you move, you reach the dot, and once you reach that dot, you light up the whole world.
Just get to the next dot, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's beautiful.
at the same time, because you are so busy in the process, you lose everything. Like you lose your like I'm talking a lot about losing the existence, because every time I have a conflict, it's not about how things are outside, how things are inside. And most of the time it's my ego, it's my own existence which stop me from having that experience.
And when you do you estimate how long the journey is, like in time and in distance? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's like 20 to 25,000 kilometers.
25,000 kilometers.
Yeah, might be 20. Let's say it's 20,000 plus.
Okay.
And I have just named it for like 1,000 days of dreaming right now. Like 1,000 days it will take, but I am sure it's going to take more.
And do you often stop somewhere, like here in Rishikesh? You've been here for a week, or
Yeah, for a week. Yeah,
a week? Okay.
some places I like. At the end of the day, like I live in a human body, and this body needs rest. So like after some, let's say 300, 400 kilometers, I need to rest myself for a week or something. But like I rest like 2 days in a week, just to, because it's a very long journey, and I
Yeah.
need to take care of my body, and I need to wash my clothes as well.
Yeah, that might help.
Yeah. So
Well, my friend, thank you for taking the time to share with the world soon, once it's posted.
thank you.
And the battery's getting low here, so
Yeah.
I think it's been a great story that you shared, and I wish the best for you and for all the people you come in contact with,
Yeah.
and just reaching the next dot and letting the light shine
Yeah.
that's a wonderful message.
Yeah, thank you. And one last night, I'm trying to write a book about my niece. For my niece, sorry. Her name is Lucy, and I want you to mention her that I love her. She's only like 4 months, and I see Emily is also 20 months.
Yeah,
So I
my
wish,
daughter.
yeah, I wish you very good luck for. I hope she becomes what she aspire, like what she's born for.
Thank you.
And I wish you good life. Yeah. Bye.